am going to show you a little bit about how to make a rum cake, because I'm making one for Thanksgiving. I really love rum cake, but this recipe is kind of top secret. It's not really mine, so I'm not going to give it away. But I'm going to just kind of show you how I make it, so you'll get some of my tips and tricks to use on your own recipe. Okay, I've got my batter, my mystery batter, and I wanted to show you that when you make a rum cake, you want to use a bunch that you have grease and then flour. Very, very, very important. Even though you can see this is non-stick, you still have to do that. And when I tell you these things, it's from my own trial and error. So we pour the batter in here, and then I'm going to bake it on the second rack to the bottom of the oven until it's done, probably 50 minutes or so at 350. And I'll use a toothpick or something to make sure it's done all the way through. But I'm going to show you, the neat part is I'm going to tell you how to make a glaze, and I'm going to tell you how to glaze your rum cake so that you have what I think of as the best rum cake. Because to me, what makes a rum cake good is that it's really soft and wet all the way through, and that it has a really good, the flavor is just delicious. So I will make a glaze with all kinds of crazy stuff in it, and I will show you about that. Okay? Okay, the cake is still cooking. It's still in the oven. I just had to pause here to say that I have a great oven, and I forgot that I could take part of my rack up, and so that the cake could rise without me taking the rack out or moving it. So as the cake rose up and hit the rack, I was trying to move it, and I found out that I have a big hole in one of my oven mitts, which is why I keep solar cane very close to my kitchen for burn, because it's pretty much all the time. But I love these oven mitts. They're really awesome, and I need 2 new ones because they both have holes in them. Okay. Here is the bundt cake that is cooked and out of the oven. And I actually think it's even a little bit burnt, which is maybe okay, normal for my cooking, but I think it'll be okay. Because what we're going to do now, over here, I have a stick of butter and a cup of sugar.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put in it almost a whole cup of alcohol. And in here is
Don't get drunk it.
In here is what I've put in there, as you can kind of see in the background, is rum, Kahlua, and bay leaf. And I'm going to boil this. No, it's going to taste good. Don't worry.
Can we eat it?
I don't know if you need it or not. But anyway, so I'm going to heat this glaze while my cake is cooling just for 3 minutes. I'm going to boil it. I'm going to boil it, because theoretically, I think if you boil it, then some of the alcohol comes out of it, but I don't know if that's true or what. But anyway, here's the secret of this great rum cake. Well, first of all, one of the big secrets is, use some really good rum. I mean, that's pretty much the main thing. And then, of course, I put Kahlua and bay leaf, so it's not even a rum cake anymore at this point. And then the biggest trick, the biggest thing is, I have this little tool, which you use to, can you see that? You use to check and see if your cake is done, and I'm going to use it to punch a bunch of holes in my cake to make sure everything gets in there. But then you're going to see I'm going to pour the glaze right into this bundt cake.
I love glaze so much.
And that is how it is going to be so just moist and delicious. And that's how I'm going to do it. So those are all my tips and tricks, and I think that you'll see that this is really the big thing about making the rum cake. Is that you pour the glaze into here and just let it soak in, and when it's totally cool, then you wrap it in Saran wrap. And this is for Thursday. Today's Tuesday, so by Thursday it should be really, really good. And what I was going to tell you is about this glaze, this, 1 part sugar, 1 part butter, and then alcohol, is that you can use that glaze for anything So if you make a bread that's a bit of a sweet bread, I can't remember the one I made a couple years ago. Well, anything, a pumpkin bread or any kind of bread that's a little bit sweet, and you want to make it really nice, make a little bit of a glaze like this, a rum or your favorite alcohol glaze for it, and then it'll make it really nice. So the finished product isn't very pretty, but you know how to do, you know all my tips, and I hope that you will use them to make really great rum cakes.